Chris, hold this real quick,
Okay, what are we doing here?
No, see that girl back there? You see her?
Yeah.
Just watch.
Okay, all right.
See, this one here, the National Magazine rated 7 out of 10. This one, it's like a 9 out of 10. You should definitely go with that one. You're like, you're like a 9 out of 10, so.
Why would you say that?
Well, it's funny you ask, because I'm the one you need.
Dude, that goes
so well.
No, that was such a cheesy pickup line.
I know.
So, if you haven't guessed already, this week we're all about cheese. Getting extra cheesy in the kitchen with a variety of different cheeses.
Just a bunch of cheese heads here in the kitchen. But don't call us the Green Bay Packers, right? Okay.
We get back to work now?
Okay.
That's right. This week, got a variety of different cheeses here. Got a couple different kinds of cheddar cheese. Got some Gruyere cheese. Some shredded Asiago cheese. And some cream cheese.
Those are 5 different types of cheeses.
5 cheeses. Not 10. 5 cheeses.
And what are we going to do with all these cheeses, you may ask? We're going to make cheesy appetizer. We're going to make a cheesy entree and a cheesy dessert.
That's right. For our cheesy appetizer, we're going to be using our shredded sharp cheddar cheese.
That's a cheesy tongue twister, isn't it?
That's right, it is. With that cheese, we're going to be using that with some chicken to make some cheesy chicken quesadillas kicked up with some sriracha sauce. For our entree, we're going to be using the Gruyere, Asiago, and cheddar cheese to make an extra cheesy cream macaroni and cheese. And for our cream cheese, we're going to be making some mini cheesecake cupcakes. Cheesecake, mini
cheesecake,
mini
cream
cupcake,
mini cream cheesecake,
mini
cake
cakes. Yeah. Is that too much cheese?
No, there's never enough cheese.
So this week, we're going to be making our menu in reverse order so that we can enjoy it in the proper order. And the reason is, these mini cheesecake, cupcakes, these things are going to need a little time to cool off in the refrigerator before we can enjoy them. So, first things first, we're going to get started with our crust. You're going to need 1 cup of crushed graham cracker crumbs, 4 tablespoons of melted unsalted butter, and 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar. We're going to mix all that up in a bowl and then line the bottoms of our tins. So we've added our butter, melted butter, 4 tablespoons, 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar, and our 1 cup of crushed graham crackers. And we've got this nice consistency, kind of like a wet sand even. So kind of crumbles a little bit. And what we're going to do, we're going to evenly distribute this into all of our muffin tin pans here to form the nice graham cracker crust for our mini cheesecakes. So you take about a little bit into each one, and we're going to do this for all of them, and then we're going to flatten them down, compact it a little bit, and then we're going to set these in the oven at 325 for about 5 minutes until they're nice and golden brown.
Alright, so our crust just came out of the oven, and what we're going to do now is let them cool. I got 2 packages of cream cheese already in our mixer. And now I'll let you know what else we have to put in. We got a ½ cup of sour cream, a ¼ cup of granulated sugar, 2 eggs, and a teaspoon of vanilla. Alright, well, we have our sour cream in, a little bit of tang, our sugar, a little bit of sweetness, got the vanilla extract and the eggs. We're just going to let this beat together, and we're going to check it a little bit every once in a while to make sure our cream cheese doesn't stick to the sides. Just take a spatula, scrape the sides, make sure everything gets nice combined. And then after that, we'll check our muffin tin to make sure everything is cooled with the crust. And once that's done, we'll take our filling here and fill the muffin tins up. Chris is going ahead and finishing up with our cheesecakes. He's evenly distributing the filling we made for each one, and it's going to be about 2 tablespoons for each liner.
Okay, so we finished filling the muffin tins with the cheesecake. We're going to cook those at 325 for 20 minutes in the oven, right until the cheesecake's set. They're going to jiggle a little bit, but they're definitely not going to crack. As soon as they start to crack, it means they're overdone. You'd like to try to avoid that. After they're done cooking, we're going to take them out of the oven to cool completely. Once they're done cooling, we're going to pop them in the refrigerator to chill so they're ready to enjoy at the end of our meal. Okay, so we've got the mini cheesecake, cupcake, mini. They're in the oven now. Alright, so while those are cooking, we're going to show you how to make a delicious caramel sauce as a topping once they're already done and chilled. So to do that, we're going to use 2 cups of brown sugar, 1.5 sticks of unsalted butter, and 1 cup of heavy cream. I know what you're thinking, Chris, you trying to kill me? The answer is no. I want you to live hard and fast, 1 cheesecake at a time, and this is going to be delicious. So you're going to work this in, constantly whisk for about 8 minutes. So you're going to work all these ingredients in with a whisk. You're constantly going to stir it around until it's nice and thick. Once it gets to that point, you're going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract to send this sauce home. The caramel sauce has been cooking down for about 8 minutes now. Added the 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract and it's thickened nicely. We've been had it over a low to medium heat. If you find that it's not thickening up as quickly as you need it to, you can raise the heat just a little bit to kind of help it along. And so with this, we're going to let it cool in the pan a little bit longer, and then we're going to transfer it into another bowl and set it in the refrigerator so it can chill along with the cheesecakes. And I should note, if you're looking for a little bit of a healthier alternative to the delicious caramel sauce we have here, you can also opt for a strawberry sauce, where you take 1 cup of strawberries, cut them in half, along with 1/2 teaspoon of lemon juice, 2 teaspoons of sugar, put it in a similar saucepan like this, over low to medium heat as well, and stir it around, and with the back of a wooden spoon you kind of want to mash up the strawberries, and then once that's cooked down, you toss that into a food processor and you blend it up until it's thick and creamy, let it all cool down, throw it in the refrigerator as well, and you have a nice, delicious, somewhat healthier alternative for a cheesecake topping. So we get the cheesecakes chilling out in the refrigerator, so let's just keep this cheese train running down the Rio de Gruyere.
What? A cheese train? Was the train's made out of cheese?
Yeah.
Why is it in a river? Is the river made out of cheese? It makes no sense. No, get out of here. Shame on you. So we're going on to the baked... No, get out. Baked mac and cheese. We're using the 3 cheeses that we talked about earlier. We're going to bake this all in a casserole dish, throw in a couple spices here and there, and top it off with some breadcrumbs. That'll be a really nice finish. And of course, can't forget our pasta noodle. It's called salantane. Salantane. It's a little corkscrew. Alright, so what I did first was I put my pasta on to boil. That's going to be in there for about 10 minutes or so until it becomes al dente. Then I took 2 tablespoons of butter in another pot here, let it melt down, and then I added 2 tablespoons of flour. And now all I'm doing is whisking it around. I'm going to be doing this for about 5 minutes, just until the lumps are gone. Once that's all set, I'm going to add 2 cups of milk and 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder to make it nice and fragrant. You can also use fresh garlic if you want to, maybe a clove or 2. And once that's all taken care of, we're going to let it simmer for about 10 minutes. Alright, so we just finished with our milk in there simmering for about 10 minutes. Now we're going to add our cheddar cheese to the mix. Get that stirred in there, start melting it down. And after this, we'll season A little bit of salt. Now this is just a taste right here, as much as you want. I think mac and cheese with a little black pepper is always a good idea. And then about a half a tablespoon of oregano. Make sure that all gets in there real nice. And then of course, pasta's done. I'll fold that into the mix here. That's when I start covering it in all our cheesy goodness. Get all those spices mixed in. It smells amazing. Alright, here we are. We're almost ready to put in our second cheese, but I've also wanted to note, in our casserole dish, I took some Crisco and greased up our casserole, and that'll make it a lot easier to get the macaroni out when it's all done. We also have our oven going already at 350. So we can stick it in there once this layering process is complete, which is what I'm going to show you now. So we have our macaroni. What we're going to do is we're going to take about half of the noodles and throw these down in our casserole as our base. Layer this. And after that, we're going to kind of build this like a lasagna, except it's baked macaroni. So we're going to take half the pasta, and then we're going to take half of our Gruyere cheese and throw a layer of that on there. Yeah, about half the noodles layered in. We're just going to make a nice little bed of Gruyere. It's going to melt in between here. Now it's great using a bunch of different types of cheeses. There's a lot of contrasting flavors that you might not normally think to mix these cheeses together, but they complement each other very nicely. And you don't have to use these three cheeses when baking your own macaroni and cheese dish. If you have your favorites, go ahead and try those out. There's nothing wrong with a little experimenting in the kitchen. And once I'm done here, we're going to move on to our breadcrumb topping. I'm almost ready to pop this thing in the oven. Well, I finished our breadcrumb mixture, and that consisted of a half a cup of breadcrumbs and 2 tablespoons of melted butter. That was just in a saute pan like I got here. And now all I'm doing is evenly coating our mac and cheese. And I'm fighting the urge to just bite into it already. Let me tell you that. But you're like, wait, James, what about that third cheese? And I'm like, oh, I didn't forget about that third cheese, which is right here. Our lovely Asiago. We're just going to sprinkle a little bit on top. Because what's baked macaroni and cheese without as much cheese as you can throw in one dish? It's looking gorgeous. Now I'm going to stick this in the oven for about 30 minutes. And then we're going to take it out for 5 minutes to rest. Excited. 30 minutes is on the clock. Now we can move on to our last part, our appetizer, the quesadilla. My mac and cheese is in the oven. How about you tell me a little bit more about your chicken quesadillas?
You got it, James. Chicken quesadillas, a little bit of cheese, perfect appetizer while you're waiting for some delicious mac and cheese to finish cooking in the oven. To do that, you need some very simple ingredients. To start, you need a flour tortilla or corn tortilla, whatever your preference is. Today, I'm going to be using a burrito-sized flour tortilla. Then you need about a cup or so, some shredded chicken. Could be some leftover rotisserie, leftover fried chicken, whatever is easiest for you. And then you're going to add some sour cream, a little bit of sriracha sauce to give it a little bit of heat. And then, of course, last but not least, the most important part, some shredded sharp cheddar cheese.
Just one type of cheese?
Yeah, we already used 4 different kinds of cheese. How many do you need?
I mean, more would be great. Like, 2 cheeses.
Do you want to leave?
Cheese.
You all right? You need to stay?
Yeah.
All right. So as I was saying, sharp cheddar cheese. We only need one. It's a simple recipe, and it sends it home better than any other. And so to put one of these together, I'm gonna mix all the ingredients aside from the tortilla in a bowl, get it all well combined, and once we've done that, I'm gonna show you how to cook one, put it all together. So I've gone ahead and I've mixed in all the chicken with the shredded cheese, sriracha, and sour cream. So I got that ready to go. The next thing you're gonna wanna do is grab one of your flour tortillas, and you wanna make sure you're using a pan that's big enough that will fit the entire tortilla so that it lays flat. You're gonna preheat it over like a medium or so heat, and you're just gonna lay the tortilla flat in there and move it around a little bit. And then as it's laying flat, you're just gonna add your chicken and cheese mixture to one side of the tortilla. And just make sure it's spread evenly throughout the whole side. And you wanna keep it to one side because eventually we're gonna flip it over, kind of like a giant taco. So, as you can see, I kept it all on one side, and now we're gonna do the flip, bring it over there, and really just push it down so it doesn't go anywhere on you. And then you're gonna let it cook on each side for about 2 minutes or so, or until it gets a nice light brown. And then you're gonna flip it over and do the same thing on the other side. The quesadillas are done. They've got a nice brown color on both sides. They're heated through. The cheese is melted. So what do you say, James? We try them, see if they taste just as good as they look.
Let's do it.
All right.
So that's great. I love the cheese is perfectly melted, browned on both sides. And there's a really nice balance with that heat of the sriracha. It's not too much, not too little. It's great.
Yeah, definitely. Now a little bit of sour cream in there really rounds it out, makes the sriracha not so powerful, and even just adding a little extra for dipping really sends it home. Look at that. Nice melted cheese, brown on both sides. That's what you're looking for. Well, James, that quesadilla was pretty tasty.
It really was.
But this looks fantastic.
It really does.
How many cheeses did you say you put
There
in this?
are 3 cheeses.
3 cheeses.
3 cheeses.
In here, 3 cheeses,
You wanna know
guys.
what they are?
Yeah,
You wanna know what they are?
I do.
There is a 15-year-old aged extra sharp cheddar cheese. What? There is a 10-year aged Gruyere layered throughout. And on top, Asiago.
Wow.
3 cheeses.
All right, well, you sold me. Can we please try this now?
Let's.
After you.
Thank you. You taste all those different flavors?
Of course I do.
It is creamy with that cheddar base. You get that lovely crunch with the breadcrumbs and the Asiago cheese.
Yeah, and the flavor, the extra garlic you put in, even that slight little bit of oregano really sends it home. This is delicious.
Definitely try this one out. 3 cheeses. You should maybe try 4. Get a little crazy if you want to.
Yeah, go cheesy.
Yeah, let's not push it.
Alright, whatever. James, these mini cheesecake, cupcake, cheese cup, yeah, they're ready. The caramel sauce is ready, so I'm just gonna finish topping off the last one here.
All right, great. Well, we've had a very cheesy day today. We started off with Chris's cheesy chicken and kind of spicy quesadilla. We moved on to my baked mac and cheese, which was super creamy, using 3 different types of cheeses. And now, our little cheesy, creamy cupcakes, which, you know, we started with, and it's only right there we end with them. And check this out, too. Look at these layers we got going on here. We got caramel, we got a little cream cheese filling there, and the crust at the bottom. What are we gonna do with this?
Well, James, we've looked at them long enough. I say it's time to enjoy.
I agree.
So,
It's like Christmas.
without further ado,
Ooh. Check that out. Wow.
Well, that was well worth the wait.
Definitely. And you know that caramel? It doesn't get any better if it's fresh.
Homemade caramel, you can't go wrong.
Creamy cream cheese center. The crust is perfect, nice crunch that adds to the whole dessert.
These are delicious.
They really are.
Great idea. Who knew cream cheese could taste so good?
All cheese tastes good.
All cheese tastes so good. Another week, another fantastic meal creation. Got extra cheesy in the kitchen today.
Super cheesy.
Super cheesy in the kitchen. So, guys, thanks for watching.
Keep trying out our recipes.
And stay tuned for next week's episode. Guys, thanks for watching.
Keep trying out our recipes.
And stay tuned for next week's episode.
Let's go.
So, man, what happened to that girl?
Well, you know, it probably won't work that anyway. You know, if they can't even handle the amount of cheese I'm bringing to the table, not the one for me.
Totally.